to week 6 of the BPFFL Fantasy Football Show. I'm your host, Jonny Vegas. Last week got a little weird, but since then I went 4-5 in my picks, and now I want to reward you with a nice, intimate evening out at one of my favorite little bistros. So go and pull yourself up a chair. Join us, won't you? And now, this week's Le Picks. Well, we have ourselves a very rare menu in the BPFFL coming into week 6. This is an entirely cross-divisional week. No two teams from either the Global or the Central Conferences will be facing off. So let's get right to it. We're going to start right off with the BEEWAXERS versus the Senators. And for this one, I'm going to remind you of one of my favorite little dining tips. Do not discuss politics while dining. It upsets the tender indigestion. And also, since we're not discussing politics, we're going to have to completely not discuss the Senators, who have a 4-game losing streak and have Allen Robinson II about to struggle mightily in Carolina. And on top of all of that, they're facing a mighty BEEWAXERS team with Tyreek Hill, arguably the most solid back in all of football. So with that said, my pick this week, BEEWAXERS by 3. Here's another helpful dating tip from your old boy Johnny. Show up on time, at least 5 minutes early. It's a good judge of character, and also a good way to display character. And speaking of characters, we got the Terror going up against the HANGMEN this week. What a perfect opportunity to showcase crazy football in October. However, it's not going to be as crazy as you think. The Terror, who have finally found their winning ways, have Ezekiel Elliott at the helm, but they also have 6 players on a bye week, which is not showing up on time. Nope. So with that said, HANGMEN by 10. Here's another helpful tip. If you're in a fancy restaurant and you're not quite sure what's what, when the waiter comes over, just look up to them and say, "What is tonight's specialty?" And whatever it is, you order it, okay? No second guessing. It makes you look like, ooh, you're an adventurous soul, as opposed to, ooh, I never made it past the first semester of French at Gowanda Elementary. But I digress. We have the Roughnecks going up against the Extractors, and this one is pretty much a no-brainer. Kareem Hunt in Pittsburgh. Yeah, right. Dream on, Roughnecks. You got DeAndre Hopkins, who's going to smoke Dallas this week on the top of the global food chain, having made no roster moves. Think about that. Number 1, no moves. Kind of like me whenever I stroll in here. Hey, Yolanda, how's it going, girl? Extractors by 1. Up next, we have the SNAKETOPUS going up against the Slaughterhouse. I can't make any possible decent food or restaurant-related adjectives whenever you mention the Slaughterhouse. Now granted, they won 2 games in a row, and they added Mike Davis this week, which is a vast improvement. But is it enough? Is it enough on a team that has George Kittle? Is it enough for the team that's clearly number 1 in the Central Division? No, it is not. SNAKETOPUS by 9. And here's the biggest tip Johnny can give you, fellas. When it's time to order dessert, you get a dessert. She'll say, "No, I've had enough." She might be legitimately full. Full? Full. Full? Full. Full. I just made a new word. Keep rolling! But what you're gonna do is you're gonna order a dessert with 2 spoons. Show that you're sharing. loving, and caring. And there is no one more sharing than the Irving A-holes who will face the Go On to Thunder this week. The Thunder and A-holes, this one's going to be one of my rare no picks. I say rare because that's how you should order a steak. 2 tips in 1 pick. I give you quality and value. This one I can't make a pick on because we've got Kyler Murray on the road at Dallas for the Thunder, going up against Patrick Mahomes on the road at Buffalo for the A-holes. Who the hell can pick that? I can't. So, no pick. Well, it's getting to be that time of the evening. Some gentle music plays in the background. You stare into her eyes. And that's when you lean up to her and whisper in her ear. See you next week. Now we done got that out the way, let's have some fun.
KDK1 calling KDK12. KDK1 calling KDK12. Are you receiving? KDK1 calling KDK12. KDK1 calling KDK12. Are you receiving? Oh, come on, Jack, you gotta pick up the phone. You gotta tell me more about that story about the naked broad you had in the bathtub. This is KDK1 calling KDK12. Are you receiving? It's KDK1 calling KDK12. KDK1 calling.
They'll be fine.
See you next week. Catch you on the flip side.
But Captain, hell...
And it's a big 10-4, you big dummy.
10-4.
I thought you put the brake on the safety of the car. Gay!